Alright, let me hit you all with some real anime game history. You've heard of Jump Force, J-Stars, maybe you've played like either a weird platforming RPG hybrid thing like Jump Ultimate Stars, or an arena fighter like J-Stars and Jump Force, with varied degrees of quality as we all know very well. But what if they combined some gameplay mechanics of one of the most famous franchises out there, the legendary Super Smash Bros. And what if I told you they actually have done this before? A little game called, that's right, Battle Stadium, D.O.N. That's D for Dragon Ball, O for One Piece, and N for Naruto. 3 GO-tier anime in one arena fighter, Smash Bros. Style. And man, the intro alone had me hooked. Let's take a look at it together, shall we? Oh, here we go. Listen. Guys, watch. Shh. Oh, you hear that bass? Oh, you hear that? Oh, they stole his Robin. Who was that? Oh, yeah, okay, Luffy, okay, word. Okay, the One Piece crew, okay. The Naruto squad, all right. What's up, big? Oh, is that Goku? Yes, sir. Oh, it's already a banger, dude. This is lit. Oh, yeah, let's go. The Dragon Ball squad? What is that? Oh, everyone's going giant? Oh, word. Okay, word. Oh, what? Damn. Okay. Okay, everyone's scared. Okay, running around, scrambling. You hear that? You hear the lyrics? Oh! Banger! Oh, you hear that? Oh, everyone got launched in midair? Okay, where? You see Trunks? Oh, this is a banger, dude. Oh, dang. Oh, we got the shadow clones? Oh, Goku's about to swipe him, bro. Dang. But here's the wild part. This game never dropped in the US. It was a Japan-only release for the GameCube and PS2, and most people outside of Japan only ever got it thanks to alternative distribution methods, if you know what I mean. And yup, thanks to those very methods, I was able to play it as a kid. So, let me tell you the story of how that happened. I was just a kid living in Brazil, and right in front of this bakery my family used to go to, yes, the bakery, there was this dude with a stand selling all kinds of games. I'm talking about non-official copies, like straight up burned DVDs with Sharpie scribbled on them. You know the kind. And then I saw it right there on the cover. Goku, Naruto, and Luffy all together on the same disc. Bro, I didn't know what this was, but I knew I needed it. So I turned to my mom with that, please, I'll do my chores forever face. And somehow it worked. She bought it along with Uzumaki Chronicles 2. Goated game, by the way. But the game actually got a fire. It plays like Smash Bros, but instead of knocking people off the stage, you're fighting for these little spirit orbs. The more you collect, the bigger your health bar gets, and if you get 100%, you can straight up win by forcing a KO. So how does it play, you may be asking yourself? Well, imagine Smash Brothers, but instead of just knocking people off the screen, you're also collecting energy orbs and knocking people off the screen. When you hit someone, they drop these spirit balls. The more you collect, the higher your percentage bar goes, and once you hit 100%, boom, you enter what's called Burst Mode. Burst Mode is wild. Your character basically goes into a fit of rage and just starts bodying everyone off the screen. Some characters even transform during it, like Goku and Gohan going Super Saiyan. It's chaos. Beautiful chaos. Now, controls wise, it depends on the console you play on. On GameCube, controls definitely feel tight here. Movement is smooth, and the stick makes combos easier to pull off, though that might be just a placebo since I've been used to playing Smash Bros. With a GameCube controller for so long. On GameCube, the B button handles normal attacks, Y is for special moves, and recovery moves are done with up and Y, which might throw off fellow Smash Bros. Players. Tilts are still in, and smash attacks are only done by flicking the stick, since the C stick isn't used in this game. That said, I've got to be honest, walking with a D-pad on a GameCube controller feels really clunky, and I'm not a fan of it personally. However, on the PS2, controls are tight as well, while also being slightly more stiff than the GameCube version, at least in my opinion. On PS2, the controls are laid out like this: square for normal attacks, triangle for special moves, up plus triangle for recovery moves, and smash attacks or tilts are done with either the D-pad or the tilt of the analog stick. I've gotta mention, walking with the D-pad on the PS2 controller feels way more natural and comfortable. Definitely better than how how it handles on the GameCube. Now let's talk recovery moves. To be honest, the up-Y recovery options in this game are kinda awkward. Some are slow and others barely give any upward movement at all. Like Trunks' up-Y, trash. Luffy's up-Y, yeah, also trash. Honestly, a lot of characters just kinda go absolutely nowhere and fall right off the map as a result. But not all hope is lost. Naruto's recovery, for example, is simple yet works. He just does an upward headbutt that can be cancelled into another headbutt. It's fast and reliable. As for shielding, yeah, this ain't your typical Smash Bros. Bubble shield. In D.O.N, pressing the shield button activates a glowing aura around your character that pushes enemies back, kind of like a parry. But here's the catch. Holding shield drains your special meter, which you need for special attacks and ultimate moves. You also get a spot dodge, which is slick, but that burns a bit of your meter too. So yeah, defense in this game comes at a cost. And if you time it just right, you'll trigger this perfect shield mechanic. I don't know the official name of it in this game, but it gives you super armor, glows white, and reduces incoming damage. Super clutch in tight spots. There's also a throw mechanic in the game, but don't expect multiple directional throws like in Smash Bros. It's just one universal throw that every character shares. You press R1 on PS2 or the Z button on the GameCube, and boom, standard grab and toss. The cool part, you can do it even in mid-air, which adds a nice layer of flash to your combos, or lets you toss your opponent to the wolves, whether that's another player's special move or even an incoming ultimate attack. And yeah, there are Final Smash style attacks, but they work totally different from Smash Bros. No Smash Ball here. Instead, there's a meter next to your character's portrait that fills up as you take and dish out damage. Once it's full, you can unleash your character's ultimate move as many times as you want, as long as you've got the meter. And get this, you can charge those attacks too, making them way bigger and stronger, like Goku's Spirit Bomb or Gaara's Sand Tsunami. Charging these moves add extra flair and damage. Now you might be thinking, wait, can you just spam those? Well, not really. They're actually kind of hard to land unless you combo into them. So even though you can use them more than once, they're not broken by any means. Even though the recovery works a little weird and the gameplay can feel a bit strange at times, if you've never played it, it's honestly a blast. And I urge everyone to give it a shot themselves because it's an excellent concept for a shonen fighting game. Seriously. Now for the good stuff. The roster. At launch, here's who you get. Dragon Ball Z, you get Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo. One Piece, you get Luffy, Chopper, Sanji, and Zoro. Naruto, you get Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura. Team 7. The roster isn't massive, and yeah, there are some characters you gotta unlock by meeting certain criteria, but man, for a 2006 GameCube and PS2 title, having Goku, Naruto, and Luffy all in one game? That was mind-blowing back then. One cool thing too is that some characters have unique abilities. For example, Sasuke can actually stick to walls, which gives him some slick mobility. And the Dragon Ball characters, yeah, they can air dash, which is kinda broken, not gonna lie. It gives them crazy stage control and makes them harder to catch. Unfortunately, as far as I know, the One Piece characters don't really have any unique abilities like that, which is a bit of a letdown considering how wild their powers are in the anime. Another interesting thing to note is that when it comes to the playable characters, Dragon Ball Z actually has the most, with a total of 8 fighters, while Naruto and One Piece each come with 6. What's cool is that the character selection actually pulls from different parts of each series. Naruto seems to stop around the Chunin exams arc, Dragon Ball Z gives us reps from the Namek, Cell, and Buu sagas, and One Piece covers up to the Drum Island arc. Don't quote me on that though, I haven't really watched One Piece like that. If you're like me back then, your first thought is probably, how do I get the rest of the characters? Well, not everyone's available right from the start. You gotta grind a little. To unlock characters, you dive into arcade mode and take on what the game calls missions. These missions get pretty wild, stuff like jump 200 times, win a match in under 60 seconds, or even go the entire fight without taking a single hit. Each mission rewards you with tokens you can spend toward a slot machine. Yup, a literal slot machine. You spin, you pray, and if you're lucky, you get your fighter. It's honestly kind of hilarious, but also maybe one of the reasons this game never made it to the West. Oh, and unless you're playing a fan-translated mod, shout out to Lord Aizen, one of the GOATs, all those mission descriptions are in Japanese, so you're either gonna have to follow a guide or just grab a 100% save file, which in my opinion totally kills the fun. Now the good part, the unlockable roster. Here's who you can snag if luck is on your side. Rock Lee, Gaara, Frieza, Cell, Trunks, Majin Buu, Usopp, and Nami. This has gotta be one of the strangest ways I've ever seen to unlock characters, stages, and even modes in a fighting game. Like, a slot machine? Really? We're out here spinning reels instead of throwing hands? Honestly, this might be one of the worst systems I have ever seen. Nothing about it is skill, it's pure luck. You're just sitting there praying the machine feels generous today, waiting for the lights to dim and the goofy casino music to kick in like, congrats, you're playing the world's weirdest carnival game in hopes of unlocking Gaara. Not to mention the sped up music that makes you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him this time, no doubt about it. You end up getting someone else completely different, and plays a tone of accomplishment once you to finally unlock him, and as you can see in some of these recordings, at some point I was just mashing down in circle until the lights dimmed and it gave me another shot at a character or stage. But I will say, the music that plays during the bonus part of the slot machine is a banger. Just give it a listen. It's silly, it's annoying, and somehow it feels both unfair and hilarious at the same time. But hey, at least it's unique, right? Now let's talk stages, because this game has some bangers. I'll name a few for each anime, starting with Dragon Ball Z. On the Dragon Ball Z side, we have the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, the World Tournament, West City, as well as the crumbling version of Planet Namek. As for Naruto, we have stages as the Hidden Leaf Village with the Might Guy PNG front and center rotating back and forth, the Forest of Death, and the Valley of the End. And finally, on the One Piece side, we have the Going Merry, the Barati Restaurant, and Giant Jack. Each stage is dynamic, platforms shift, hazards pop up, and in some levels you can even knock opponents through parts of the terrain. It's kind of like that one DK stage in Smash Bros. Brawl. You know the one. Yeah, Rumble Falls. You son of a... Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, unlocking these stages means facing the dreaded slot machine. Luckily, it shouldn't take too long if you can consistently knock out those missions. So what can you actually play in Battle Stadium D.O.N? Turns out it's got a pretty solid set of modes for a mid-2000s anime crossover brawler. Battle Stadium Mode. This is your standard arcade/story mode. Pick your fighter, face off against a gauntlet of enemies, and complete random missions mid-fight to earn tokens for the infamous slot machine. You usually end up fighting Cell or Majin Buu as the final boss here, depending on the difficulty you select. Survival Challenge. See how long you can last against an endless wave of opponents. Your health carries over between fights, so one slip-up could end your run. Time Challenge. Defeat your opponents as quickly as possible. The faster you wipe the floor with them, the better your score. Think of this as the endless multi-mad mode from Smash Bros. Practice Mode. Exactly what it sounds like. Pick any stage and any characters to mess around with, moves, combos, and mechanics without worrying about missions or timers. Multiplayer Mode. Up to 4 players can throw down in chaotic anime glory. This is where the game truly shines, especially when you and your friends start yelling over getting caught in super moves. Tickets Mode. This mode lets you go wild with customization. Throw on practically any buff, debuff, item rule, or handicap you can even imagine. Want matches where guarding is banned? Done. Projectile only chaos? Easy. Unlimited super moves? Absolutely. Randomly generated lives? Why not? No super moves at all? Sure thing. Here's the kicker. These buffs and debuffs are tied to the tickets you earn from the dreaded slot machine. So every time you score tickets, you're basically unlocking new ways to crank up the nonsense during your matches. It's the Battle Stadium D.O.N version of Special Melee from Smash Bros. And it's just as ridiculous and fun. Options Mode. Change settings like controls, difficulty, and match rules to customize your experience. And finally, Gallery Mode. Akin to the Data Mode in Smash 64, it allows the player to view small profiles about each of the characters attained. A model of the character is shown next to these descriptions that you can rotate and zoom into as you wish. This brings us to the items in the game. Yep, there are items and they're as wild as you'd expect. Some are pulled straight from the animes, while others are completely original to Battle Stadium D.O.N. And these aren't just random chaos makers. There are plenty of buff items to power you up and debuff items to mess with your opponents. Let's go over them. Goku's Power Pole extends out to smack opponents and launch them right off the stage. The Gold Invincibility Shield grants temporary invincibility so you can go full-on menace mode. The Meat item refills your super gauge so you can pull off those ultimate attacks faster. The Ramen item, just like the meat, it restores your super meter. Kunai and Shuriken, projectile weapons that chip away at enemies from a distance. The Executioner's Blade, a spinning attack that knocks everyone away, perfect for a get off me moment. Usopp's Slingshot, fires in bursts of 3 for small but pesky damage. The Bomb works like a Smash Bros. Bomb, except it's on a timer and doesn't explode on contact. The Substitution Lock, get hit while holding it and you instantly vanish, reappearing out of thin air while your attacker is left wide open. The Fan, slow, goofy, and yet somehow annoying if someone starts mashing with. Smash Bros. Fans, you know the pain. The Treasure Box works like crates or barrels in Smash. Chuck it at someone and watch the goodies spill out. The Paper Bomb fires 3 projectiles in upward diagonal, straight, and downward diagonal directions. Zoro's Sword, hold the attack button to charge a devastating lunge. The Max Orb instantly refills your super meter completely. The buff and debuff items grow giant, shrink tiny, move faster, jump higher, or deal with the complete opposite. Think the Super Mushroom, Poison Mushroom, and Timer from Smash Bros., but with their own little spin. You've got stuff like the Ball and Chain that increases your jump height, or Angel Wings to send you soaring away higher than usual, as well as extra jumps. There's a good mix of references for fans and some original ideas that fit perfectly into the boisterous energy of the game. It's that perfect blend of, oh hey, I know that, fan service, and pure arcade nonsense that keeps every match unpredictable. You may never know if you're about to land the perfect combo, or get smacked across the stage by a giant power pole while someone else eats ramen to charge their ultimate. Now let me take a moment here to discuss the music for the game. While the soundtrack might not be godlike, it's packed with bangers that stuck with me over the years, probably because I played this game non-stop as a kid. The energetic slot machine theme, the adrenaline-pumping burst mode music, the futuristic and atmospheric vibe of the West City stage, the adventurous seafaring energy of the Going Merry track, and the absolute banger that is Giant Jack's theme are all permanently burned into my childhood memory. Give the Giant Jack and West City a short listen here. A fun fact about the intro for Battle Stadium D.O.N. is it was actually performed by none other than Hironobu Kageyama and Hiroshi Kitadani, who have both done tons of songs for the Dragon Ball and One Piece franchises respectively. Hironobu's voice is super recognizable if you're a Dragon Ball fan, especially since he's done intros for a bunch of the games too, like Budokai 3 and Raging Blast 1 and 2. And with that, through it all, modes, items, and the tunes that fueled my childhood sessions, now it's time to bring it all together. Shout out to the bakery plug. So yeah, Battle Stadium D.O.N. The anime Smash Bros you probably never played, unless you had a PS2 with a questionable disc collection. Shout out to that bakery in Brazil for low-key blessing me with one of the most obscure anime games out there. I didn't even know it was rare at the time. I just knew Goku and Naruto were throwing hands, and that was enough for me. If you did play it, you're a certified OG. And if you didn't, well, now you know. If you enjoyed the video, drop a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And let me know in the comments which obscure games you grew up with. I'll read every single one of those comments, and I can't wait to hear about the hidden gems you all have played. Finally, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.